Would you choose the yellow door or the blue door? What if your choice reveals a lot about your personality? Guys, I've been doing some research about neighborliness. And do people know their neighbors? Do they like their neighbors? Do they hang out with their neighbors? Has there been a big change in this over the last 10 or 20 years? If so, why? And I came across this photo in an article about why we don't know our neighbors anymore, but we should. And the blue door and the yellow door and the choices. So we'll come back and talk about that in just a moment. Basically, the question is, all other things being equal, if these were the only two houses near you that had people in them and you needed assistance, would you choose the blue door or the yellow door to go and ask for help? All other things being equal, you don't know anything else about these people, but you know that they're home and you need some assistance and nobody else is home. Would you knock first on the yellow door or the blue door? So I've been looking into the reasons why Americans dislike their neighbors. In fact, I find this topic of how people don't like their neighbors anymore fascinating, to the point where that was the main topic of the Late Night Truth Lounge a couple of days ago. It took me a little while, but I took the audio from this and then I balanced it and rendered it and uploaded it as an MP3, so you can access that. It's available on Podbean, on Spotify, or through the website. Link to that in the top comment below. One of the reasons why I'm so fascinated with this idea of people not wanting to know their neighbors, and in most cases, apparently, according to some surveys, literally not knowing the name of a single neighbor. I think part of the reason why I find this topic so interesting, ever since I found out how little most people know their neighbors, is because for once in my life, I feel like I'm actually in the majority. I also don't know my neighbors, and I've got a whole lot of excuses for that, including living in a foreign country, but they're just excuses, really. If I wanted to put more effort in, I could, but I don't. But I just figured back in the Western world that I left behind all those years ago, I figured people still did have neighborly connections, at least a lot of them. That's what I thought, and I was wrong. Now, according to this survey, what are the reasons why Americans dislike their neighbors? On this particular survey of more than 1,000 people, the respondents were allowed to choose more than one of the options. The option that got the most ticks, or the most positive responses, was they give off a weird vibe.
This is really weird, okay?
Hey man, do you talk to your neighbors? Do you know them? No. Do you have any plans to meet them? No. May I ask why that is? They give off a weird vibe.
That guy was a weirdo.
A weird vibe, you say? Yeah, there's something weird about those people, man, so I'd rather not say hello. And how long have you been living here? 10 years. And how long have they been living here? I don't know, they were here when I got here. And you don't know their names. No, I just told you, I think they're weird.
The average person is a headline reader and a rumor spreader.
So I've been doing some reading on all of this. One of the things I found is that, according to some surveys or some studies, a lot of so-called millennials, and I guess the generations behind them, the younger ones than them, they feel as though the strongest community in their life is their online community.
Yeah, fine. So what?
So whether that's a video game, Discord, or whatever the hell these people are doing on the internet, they find that those communities, many millennials, according to this one, almost half of them feel more connected to their online community than to any offline community. Here's the weird thing. This particular piece, or this particular survey or whatever, is from an article in the New York Post from 2018. Let's scroll out there so you can see this. All right, this is a 2018. So I haven't found any more recent studies or surveys than this one. This is from 7 years ago. This is from pre-Mark Coronas. This is from pre-lockdowns and shutdowns and people becoming more and more spending time on their phones, because what else was there to do for a lot of people? You get the idea. So who knows what the percent... It could be that now more people feel more connected to their online community than to their real community.
That's a fair assessment, I think.
I want to come back and talk about these doors and which door you choose, what that says about you. Before we get to that, one more reminder. I have uploaded the Late Night Truth Lounge from a couple of days ago. Just uploaded that today. Took the time to balance the audio, cut the file up into two pieces, and then upload it as two separate files for you to stream or download. And this could be the last Late Night Truth Lounge for a long time. So I recommend you go and check that out. Like I said, the main topic I was talking about was neighbors and why do so few people seem to care about their neighbors. And I found this subreddit thread on the Millennials subreddit, and all of the top replies were people basically saying, yeah, I don't want to know my neighbors. I'm friendly from a distance, and here's why. And I think we're in a lot of trouble, folks. I really do. Anyway, I'll link to that in the pinned comment below. Go and check that out. Download or stream at your leisure. Okay, so This is from a piece called We Don't Know Our Neighbours Anymore, But We Should. Now you see these two doors, the blue door and the yellow door. So suppose, for whatever reason, you found yourself on a street late at night and all of the houses were empty. But there were two houses where the lights were on. And there were two doors next to each other. They were these exact ones that you see here. And you need to go and ask for assistance. Would you be more likely to go and knock on the yellow door first or on the blue door? If you chose the blue door, the studies suggest that that means that you prefer conformity and predictability and were probably raised in a strict household. If, on the other hand, you chose the yellow door, psychologists agree that this indicates that you are looking for mayhem and unpredictability, and that means that you were also raised by parents who were too strict. I just completely made all of that up about the blue door and the yellow door, but did I get you for a second there? Did I get you thinking that that was legitimate? Did you think this was a real psychological test? Be honest. Let me know in the comment section below. I think you could get away with that. I think you could say to people, well, have you heard about the blue door, yellow door study? Well, actually, researchers and experts, they did this test, and what they found was, and then you get people thinking about, would I choose the yellow door or the blue door, and get them imagining different scenarios? Well, why would I knock on the blue door? Well, I guess I don't really get people thinking about it, and they would actually, I think most people would think that's legitimate. And you'd be lucky if 1 in 1,000 would ever bother to go and find out, was that really based on a study? Who were these experts? What university? This paper, what journal was it published in? You'd be lucky if 1 in 1,000 ever asked those questions. The rest would all just be off with the fairies, imagining different explanations for blue door or yellow door. What a time to be alive, folks. Go and check the link in the comment section below. Leave your thoughts and have yourselves a lovely day.
Because that's the other thing about modern life is we're very separate. So we're sort of swimming alone.
This is scientifically proven.
This is very disturbing.